Hey, hey.
Hey, everybody, how's it going? Happy Tuesday.
Hey, y'all. Can y'all hear us? Hey, hey. Thank you. Can you hear us? Hey.
How's it going? How's it going?
Great. Great.
Hello, beautiful people.
Hello, hello. Let me call out some names. Aretha Ray, Misty Dawn, Dawn McIntosh, Bonnie Thompson, Nadia Truth, Nurse Diva. Hey, y'all. Hey, Keisha Bell. Thank you. Hey, Alvira Wilson. Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Thank you, Nurse Diva. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. It feels, how it feel to you? It feels weird. It feels weird. It feels a little
Feel a
surreal.
long time coming.
Yeah. Thank you. It's a little unfinished back there, but we won't get it together. I'm officially in my soft life. Like seriously. Hey Dia. Thank you. Thank you. Officially in my soft life because I'm not rushing like to get nothing done. Like, thank you, y'all. All right.
Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Thank you. Hey Wanda. Hey, hey. Yeah, this move was different. This move, first of all, we took forever. We stretched out the move because the closing happened so fast. The closing happened on the 28th of April, but we didn't schedule the official move until this past weekend, the 16th, because we wanted 2 weeks to organize. But I think what it did, it took more. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we're here. Thank you. Thank you. It was a suddenly, this house came suddenly,
Yeah,
like suddenly.
yeah, that definitely was the definition of suddenly.
Yes, it was a suddenly. Um, and I mean, it's just blessings on top of blessings on top. We shared the story in the private group, but today we went to go look and see where do we pay the HOA, and where do we pay it for June, just preparing. June is next week, so it's like, okay, where do we pay our first HOA payment? And we reached out to them. They was like, oh, it's paid up for the year.
So when God orchestrates something, He
Yes.
don't leave none of the details out.
I was like, okay. So God is amazing. God is
Yes,
amazing.
yes, that's how He works.
Yes. So All right, we gotta jump in because we got private group tonight.
Yes, yes, yes. So those of you that are new with Terrence and Jill God-Ordained Union, we're here to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to help increase kingdom unions.
Yes, yes. So if you are new to the channel, 30,000. We hit 30,000 subscribers today.
Yes.
That's another thing, timing. We hit 30,000 subscribers today. So if you're new on our channel, we're here to encourage singles. We encourage singles. I guess it comes across like we're doing relationship advice, but really it's not. It's really just really, I guess, helping us see who we are and what could be coming across and what could be delaying us and what could be blocking us and what could be running people off and what can be drawing people to us and the good things in us. And so this channel is all about looking into who you are as a person and how you're positioned, basically how to be positioned for your person who God has for you. We did not settle. We've been married, what, 4 years? 4 years. And yeah, so subscribe, turn on your notifications. We go live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's if we're not, like last week, we were just worn out. But for the most part, we go live every Tuesday. We drop pre-recorded videos every Sunday and Thursdays.
Yes, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, we do private group. We could do a private group every first and third Tuesdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tonight we'll be having a private group call tonight right after this live. And so to join the private group, go to our website at God-Ordained.com. It's called God-Ordained Connections. And it's only $11 a month. You don't have to be committed. It's not, if you drop in and don't want it, that's fine. You don't have to let us know that you stop your subscription or whatever. We're not holding you. But what goes on in the private group stays in the private group. It is more like a group conversation about different topics, things you might want to bring to the table, situations you're going through. You want, to know feedback and what others are thinking about it or whatever. So it's a community. And so you can join us. Also, we do a prayer call. It's not ours. My mom hosts a prayer call every Friday night at 11:50 p.m. into midnight. Sometimes it goes to like 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, praying together. We also do one-on-ones. So if you want to speak with us one-on-one, you can do so. We're not taking on any new clients until further notice, and probably it's going to not taking on any new clients probably for the entire summer. I don't know. I ain't discussed it with my husband yet, but we don't know yet. He loves the one-on-ones. Terrence loves doing one-on-ones. So we'll see, depending on how we get situated here in the house. But we do offer one-on-ones. We're not relationship experts. We ain't doctors. We ain't saying we know doctor. We're not saying we know expert but we do like to believe we got wisdom when it comes to being single.
Look, here's to me what I think one of the differences is with this channel. And I believe God has graced us in such a way that all we've been doing for 4 years is sharing our story. 5 years. And we've been sharing it in a way of saying, look, this is what we went through during a part of our getting to know each other, a part of us meeting, all of this stuff. And we didn't know what those things meant at the time. But thinking back on it, this is what we've learned they meant. And we are just praying that those lessons we learned after the fact, we can help give it to you in real time. So if it applies to you, it's great. If it doesn't apply to you, say, well, maybe next week they're going to say something about my situation. And that's it. We have not been telling people if we were you, we would do boom boom. We have never said this is how you supposed to do something. We just said this is what we went through. This is what it meant to
This
us,
what is
and we
this?
hope what we went through, thinking back on it, can now help you in real time, so you can benefit from something that we went through and learned after the fact.
Or things that we're observing
Yeah,
from others and things that are, yeah, it's like the Lord be showing us stuff
yeah.
after. It's like, oh, that's what I if I would have
Yeah.
known this
And it doesn't
in
take
my
much. You can be
30s.
talking to us and just trigger thought about a topic. And then it seems like all of a sudden we get this revelation of everything we went through regarding that, and then what it actually meant. And then we're going to share.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, please subscribe if you have not subscribed. Follow us on the IG because that's
Mhm.
when we dropping videos all about getting this house together.
Yeah, y'all gonna be
Um,
saying everything from cooking to going out to,
a little bit of
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
We want to be more open, more transparent in, behind this platform. What else? I think that's it.
It's
So,
got an ebook.
oh, we got an
Yeah.
ebook, so you may want to grab that. It's for the ladies. So
Mhm.
if you're wondering why you're blocked up, could be soul ties, it could be unforgiveness, it could be
Mhm.
generational patterns, curses, it could be a number of things. You could be just saying you want something but not open. It could be a whole
Right.
bunch of things. And so yeah,
And to be honest, so much of this is the little things that we just take for granted, that we're not even thinking about, that we have grown accustomed to saying, to doing, to coming in agreement with, and not even realizing that it's actually jeopardizing what we're praying for.
yeah, yeah. All right. That sounds like rain, doesn't it?
It sounds like
That's not rain though.
it.
Can y'all hear us?
Yeah, I believe they can hear us.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
okay. So because we got a lot of new followers, we like to do at least once a month, like kind of recap our story. We don't have a lot of time because we got to jump off at 8 to get on a private
Mhm.
call. But for all the new ones, we just want to recap how we met and how that went, and all that good stuff, so that you'll understand. Uh,
As we're going, please put your questions in.
yeah, also put your questions in. All right, so back in 2018, 2018, I was at a point in my life, like a lot of you, tired of being sick and tired of being, you know, just sick and tired of wondering what was going on with me. I
Mhm.
was 48. It was 2018, and something. I'm like, and I was alone. I was living down here in North Carolina by myself, no family, and it was. I wouldn't say I was lonely, but I wanted companionship, and I wanted marriage, and so I always believed. Thank you. I always believed that I was supposed to be with
Mhm.
someone. I was not settling, and so I came across. I was on, I think like that Saturday morning. I was on Facebook, and somebody had posted, one of my Facebook friends had posted an article about 3 dating sites. And two of them I was familiar with because one of the two was EH, and it's where I had met the prior two guys that I was dating, and that I thought was, at least one of them I thought I was gonna marry. But the last guy I hadn't been, I wasn't, I had broken up with him in 2013. So I hadn't been on a dating site for almost 10 years because I was 43. We dated for like almost 3 years. Yeah, so I was 48. So I hadn't been on a dating site. I had said I was off of dating sites. I wasn't doing no more dating sites. But I looked at the article, and it was one particular dating site I was not familiar with. So I was like, well, let me just see what this about. I didn't want to do it. at first, but something said do it. Something in my spirit said do it. So I did it. I joined the platform, and like for instantly I was getting like hits from different matches from guys. Like within that next 24 to 48 hours, guys were reaching out, and I was looking at their, I was like, oh no. I was looking at their profile, I was like, oh no, this, I don't think this is the site for me. Oh no, oh no. And then I got a match of Terrence's profile, and it was like a high match. It said it was like 95, something higher than 95%, that we were compatible. And so when I read his profile, it literally felt like I was reading myself. It felt like everything he put on his profile sound like my personality. And I was like, man, I like him. Very, very straight to the point. And so how I usually would do social media is that if we matched each other, I would wait for the guy to reach out to me. So I waited for a couple of days, and Terrence never reached out to me just because he got the notification as well that we were matched. And so I waited, and he didn't reach out. And I was like, that's weird. Why wouldn't he reach out to me? I had one of those attitudes. And so I realized, I looked, and he hadn't even viewed my profile. And I was like, okay, well, this is weird. And so a couple of more days went by. It was like almost a week had went by, and I decided to like send him an emoji to say, like, to poke him, or like a heart or something, whatever the emojis were. And he still didn't respond. And so I think I only had like a 30-day subscription. And so when 30 days was almost up, something in my spirit say renew it for 90 days. So I renewed, because in that 30 days I got a first match, and I was like, this is the only person that I'm interested in. I then got a second match, and so it was another profile, and I was like, okay, well, I could probably, entertain this guy, because he just is confident as the other guy. And so I was like, okay, well, let me, long story short, it was another profile Terrence had. So it was two different pictures. And I was like, they kind of look alike. But then I put two and two together. It was the same guy. So he had two different profiles. And so that profile didn't respond either. And so that was like in the summer. And so I had renewed it for like 3 more months. And like it was almost like to the end of the year. Well, like around October, I had gotten to the point where, this dude, he probably found his person. He probably let his membership run out. He probably found his person. It's all good. And so I was letting my membership run out. Well, about October, I had a dream. And in that dream, Terrence was the guy from the platform, was in my dreams, and he was at my house, and he was in my guest room sleeping, and it was dark in the guest room. And I went in the guest room, and there was a safety pin that was next to him. I closed the safety pin so it wouldn't poke him, and I put the covers over him, and I came out the room, and I closed the door so he can rest. But he was in a dark room in my house. And so when I woke up, I immediately knew that meant to cover this guy in prayer. Cover this guy in prayer. And so I committed to just praying for this guy. And I had settled that, okay, well, maybe that's all I'm supposed to do is pray for this guy. But clearly it came across like he had found his person. Well, for the next couple of, almost like to Christmas, he was like heavily in my spirit. It was beyond him being on my mind. He was in my spirit. And it was the weirdest thing. So I kept praying for him. I kept praying for him. And so right after Christmas, maybe 2 or 3 days after Christmas, I got up the nerve to go find him on Facebook. Now, this is where it gets real spiritual. because usually those of you who have been on a dating site knows that you don't use your real name. You use an alias. So my alias was Amethyst, Maryland Amethyst something. Maryland Amethyst. I think it was Maryland Amethyst. That was always my profile name on the dating sites. And so, but Terrence used his real name, Terrence Smith. He was the only person that used his real name. So because he used his real name, I went and looked him up on Facebook. And when I looked him up on Facebook, the one of the profile pictures on the dating site was on his Facebook profile. So of course I looked through his Facebook profile, and I was liking him more and more. I didn't see any pictures of any women that he was married. There was no sign that he was seeing somebody, that he was married, none of that. And so something in my spirit said, I take it back. It wasn't in my spirit. My flesh said, DM him. And also my best friend said, do the same thing. She was like, DM him. And so I bit my pride and I DM'd him. And when I DM'd him, I said, hey, I said, I know you think this is crazy, but I saw your profile on such and such dating site, and I don't usually do this. And I put the emoji that had the bashful sign. I said, I don't usually do this. I said, but we were a high compatibility match on that date on a dating site, and I would love to have a conversation with you to see if you feel the same way. If we both feel the same way. I said, but however, if you are seeing someone or if you're married, please totally disregard this. I don't know, what your status is. And so a couple of days later, it was on New Year's Eve. A couple of days later, on a Saturday morning, I got a notification that Terrence Smith had responded to my DM. And his DM said, he responded and he was like, first off, he was like, first off, I haven't been on that dating site in 5 years. He says, I don't know why they still running my profile. He said, I haven't been on that dating site in years. And he said, no, I'm not seeing anyone. I am single. He said, yes. He said, I think, since, you took the time to reach out to me, I guess we could have a conversation. And so I was like, okay. I said, all right. I said, well, I got family members coming in town. I said, but, in a couple of days, I'll reach back out to you and we can maybe exchange numbers or whatever. And I said, we could take it from there. So he was like, okay, cool or whatever. So when we finished having a conversation, it was a few exchanges in that one conversation. When I got off of Facebook, I received a notification from Terrence that he requested me as a friend on Facebook. So I was like, oh, he requested me as a friend. All right, we can do this. So I accepted his friend request. And so a couple of days later, I reached back out and I said, hey, I said, just want to let you know that, whenever you're ready to have a conversation, I'm available to chat. Well, he didn't respond. He did not respond. That was in January. Of 2019. He did not respond. Because I had, two things. Because I had committed to praying for him from that dream, whoever this guy is, I'm committed to praying because clearly he's going through some darkness. Because I had committed to praying for him, I committed to the Lord that I was going to continue to pray for this guy and not pray for him for me, but pray for him for whatever he was going through. So I did that. I committed to that. The other thing is that because he had requested me as a friend, I was like, I'm gonna fall back. It's all good. At least we Facebook friends. It's all good. He might be going through something. I don't know, but it's all good. Maybe he's not, for me or whatever, but I'll take the Facebook friend. He seems like a really good guy. He seems like somebody who I would really, I would like to get to know. Even if it's friends, and we just did a video on that. I was like, even if it's just friends, like, I'm good with that. And so that was January. February, nothing. March, nothing. April, nothing. May, he posted, Happy Mother's Day to all my sisters and all those who celebrate, who are mothers out there. But other than that, nothing. Um, June, July, nothing. August, nothing. September, nothing. October, nothing. He didn't post nothing. He did not respond to the DM, nothing. November, I was at work and I saw a notification on Facebook that I had a message. Now, my Facebook, the Facebook that I was connecting with him on, that's my personal Facebook, and it is basically a family affair. Like, so we got several groups in there, cousins groups, extended family groups, immediate family groups, siblings group. It's just family. And now my in-laws got a group. So I know if there's a notification, it's from one of them groups, from family. This particular notification, I knew in my spirit it was that guy Terrence. I knew it before I opened it. I knew it was him. So I went to the bathroom and I prayed. I said, Lord, I don't know what this is about, but you got to tell me how to respond, because the human side of me was saying, how dare he? The spiritual side was saying, I got you. Came back to my desk, opened up the DM. It was him. And he said, hey, he sent me a picture of a white rose. He said, hey, he said, just, it was a beautiful, I forgot what the message was. So I responded, I was like, are you sure? I say, hey there, are you sure you're reaching out to the right person? Because I really thought he was like sending a group message or had sent the wrong person a message. And he was like, nah, I got the right person. Like yeah. He said, I realized, that, I hadn't, something, whatever you said, but that's how we started talking. You want to pick it up from here?
Yeah. What, just so y'all know, because I know y'all already putting it out there, what happened, what was I doing, all this other stuff. But for those of you who've never heard this before, a lot of you have, I was going through some things at the time where I was really distancing myself from social media, which is why I told her I hadn't been on that dating site in 5 years. I was really trying to distance myself. I would only come on every now and then, like to say Happy Mother's Day, because I have a large family. So I always wish my siblings and stuff, whatever's going on. But anyway, I honestly forgot all about her and I supposed to have been getting back together and changing numbers and all of that. So when I sent that message to her to a DM, that was really me apologizing, saying, I just realized that I was supposed to reach out to you way back when, and I didn't. So, but during that time, I did run across her profile a couple of times. And that really, every time I saw her profile, the interest in her grew. My curiosity grew, like, where'd she come from? Because like her, I didn't remember sending her a friend request.
Oh, that was the part I forgot to say.
And so I was trying to figure out, how did we meet? Where do I know her from? So now I'm in her, I'm on her page reading her profile and where she's from. And I'm looking through her friends list to see if we got anybody in common and different things like that. I'm trying to figure out, where this woman come from. But by that time, I realized that I messed up. because I didn't follow up on something that we had previously set up. So I was really reaching out to see if she was going to curse me out or not. What was that going to be like, so I can try to, have that conversation.
So about August, I was having a conversation with one of my girlfriends, and she told me about she hate when what Facebook does. If you DM somebody, the person Facebook will automatically send you a friend request as if the person who you DM'd requested you as a friend. So that's what happened. If I would have known that, I would have not accepted the friend request and would have probably cut him off if I was in my feelings. But God being God, I thought all those months that he had sent me a friend request. And that was one of the reasons why I was holding on. And probably that was the only reason, because I could pray for you and not have any type of connection with you. Like I could cut you off my from having access to me, but still pray for you. And so when I found out that, I was like, so he really didn't even request me as a friend. I really was at the point where I wasn't even wasting my energy on even going through trying to delete him. Like at that point, I'm gonna pray for this guy because he was like really heavily in my spirit. I'm gonna pray for this guy, but it is what it is. It's gonna be what it's be. It's clearly not what it's gonna be. I'm okay with that. Like I'm living my life. I'm going on. But that November, right before Terrence contacted me in my DM, a social media friend a month before prophesied over me and said that my husband was coming, my king was coming. And I knew that he was talking about the guy Terrence. So I kept all through those months, I kept getting signs that I wasn't asking for. I was asking God, give me a sign that he ain't it. Because in my spirit, I didn't know what it felt like, but I kept on saying, he it. If I could say that God told me something, this is it. But it wasn't making sense in the natural realm. It was peace in the spirit realm, but it wasn't making sense in the natural realm. So I kept on saying, Lord, let him post his girlfriend. Let him post that he's married, because that would have calmed down my humanness. That would have sealed and confirmed my humanness, but it never happened. And so when he came in my DM, from that day, that was like early November, like Veterans Day, we started talking. For the next couple of weeks, we were talking. Thanksgiving night, I was in Maryland, and we had conversations, throughout the weeks. Well, on Thanksgiving night, Terrence said to me, now we had never talked on the phone. We were just texting, and well, actually we were DMing, because we didn't at that, we still hadn't had exchanged numbers. We were just DMing through Facebook the whole time. So that Thanksgiving night, Terrence sent me a DM, and I was with my family, and he said, I really, really want to get to know you. Like I want to pursue you I wouldn't want to like intentionally pursue you. He said, but I want to take it slow. And I responded, I said, slow is perfect. And so the very next night we exchanged numbers, and we talked on the phone forever. Now, that was in December. I was also planning my 50th birthday party, which was going to be in that next February. So although I was entertaining and interested in this guy and getting to know him, so it was perfect because I had my own life. I was planning my 50th birthday party in Sag Harbor, New York. And it was me and my girls. It was my first cousins, my sisters, my mother. That's what we were planning. And but we kept planning, that we were going to see each other, because he was in Charlotte, I was in Raleigh, 2.5 hours away. And but it was slow. It was like, if we see each other, we see each other. If we don't, we don't. It was like all my eggs wasn't on his focus. And so
it was also, not to cut you off, baby, it was also at the beginning of the pandemic, and they were starting to say,
Well, that hadn't happened
Okay,
yet.
okay, you hadn't got this. But
Yeah,
let me say this because I know some questions come up. You've been wondering how long did it actually take for me to hit her back. If you listen to her talk about the months, it was 11 months.
it was
It
11
was 11
months.
months. It went from January until Veterans Day, which is in November.
Hmm. So November came. I mean, Christmas came. We didn't get to see each other. Um, Valentine's Day came. Valentine's Day came. We were still talking on the phone. We hadn't seen each other, but Valentine's Day morning, he sent me the most beautiful text. I mean, beautiful. But also, that was the same weekend I was leaving to go celebrate my 50th birthday, and so all on my trip on, in New York, um, this guy Terrence, all my girlfriends was like, who got your attention? Like who? And I hadn't only told, but my best friend and my sister, one of my sisters. And so they was snickering because they knew, but nobody else knew. And I was getting to know this guy named Terrence. And so the weekend that we came back from New York, the first case of COVID was in New York, like a couple of days later.
Right, right.
Yeah, so it shut down everything. By this time, we knew because we were saying when I came back from New York, we was gonna see each other. Well, they shut us down. We couldn't see each other. So June came and we was like, forget them rules. We're gonna see each other. Forget them darn rules. We're gonna take a chance because they were saying, you had to get permission to get up the
Right.
highway and
Yeah,
all that.
you couldn't go but so many miles away from your job. It was
It
crazy.
was crazy. So we was like, forget them rules. And one June rainy night, Terrence drove to Raleigh to see me. And when I opened that door, I jumped in his arms. And we saw each other every weekend after that. That was June.
Hmm.
We saw each other every weekend after that. And December, he proposed. And I just want to put out this point real quick. So by this time, everybody started to know that, Jill was seeing someone. And because Terrence was coming to me all the time, I had no problem with it. But I had one girlfriend that said, you don't got a problem that he ain't inviting you to his house? I said, nope. Because when I did go to his house, he proposed. So when I came to Charlotte, one December, I came to Charlotte and he was like, I got to get you down here permanently. I was like, well, the ball is in your court. And he was like, well, you think I'm playing? And he pulled out a ring. He pulled out a ring. I was like, what? What? And he proposed. And so we got engaged December of 2020. And we started this channel January 2021, a couple of weeks later, because when we put the announcement out that we were engaged, we had a lot of singles that were saying, congratulations, but I wonder when my person gonna come. And so we decided to start a channel to like encourage singles, and that's what we did. And so we got engaged in December 2020. And because it was the pandemic, we decided, and we wanted a wedding, or I wanted a wedding. We decided we were going to push the wedding out 16 months so that we knew that the pandemic was completely over. And so we got married April of 2022. But yeah, that's the story in a nutshell. It ain't always smooth sailing.
So every time we share the story, and I'm gonna say mainly her because she tells the story. Usually I sit here and just But every time the story is told, it makes me want to reiterate a couple things that we have said over the years that I think is just so important for you all to understand. We put videos out, it's called Suddenly. We put videos out about different topics that everybody has either loved or what have you. But here's the thing. If you surrender everything you have to God, Things are going to happen that in the natural will not make sense. But you have to be strong spiritually. Every time she says something didn't make sense in the natural, she tapped in to her spiritual side and got even stronger spiritually. And she focused spiritually. Because we all say, well, if this would have happened to me, I would have done this. If this would have happened to me, I would have done that. And we remind people all the time, look, when the right person is in your life, when God is dealing with you regarding the right person, you have no idea how you're going to respond until it happens.
You have no idea.
And it all is based upon how much you allow God to control what's in your life and what's going on versus you trying to control the narrative. So I'm saying that to say, if y'all are serious about wanting to meet your God-ordained spouse, you have got to give God control and say, I'm going to get out the way. I'm going to take my hands off of it. And Lord, whoever you have, whenever you bring him, whenever you bring her, wherever it takes place, I'm 100% in.
After I DM'd Terrence in Facebook, that was the last time I put my hand in it. I felt so stupid. But God's grace and mercy is so beautiful, because even though I was operating really in my flesh, pursuing his, or looking at his Facebook, contacting him, God still had mercy on the situation. But at that point, it was like, take your hands off of it. And I kid you not, Terrence did the texting, the calling. Like after that Thanksgiving, when he said he want to take us out, he want to pursue me, I fell back. If we talked, it was because he called. If we talked, it was because he texted. Not that I was playing games, but a lot of it had to do with our conversations were so quality. So if we talked on a Monday, our conversations were so meaty and it was so full that it really sustained me. So I wasn't wondering, well, when are you gonna call again? Why ain't call? I was so at peace. And so before I could even miss him, he was calling. And sometimes it would be days later. And so it wasn't like, that's why I said consistency is not necessarily frequently or how it consistent. He showed me consistency in the quality of person he was, his character. He had a consistent character. And so but yeah, he did all the calling, not because I was saying, oh, he gonna call me, I ain't gonna call him, but he did. He's the one that pursued. He literally pursued me at that point, and I let him. I took my hands off of it. It's gonna be or it's not gonna be. Either way, I'm good. I had no expectations, none. It was no pressure, none. Because he had set his intentions in the beginning. He said, we're going to take it slow. It's going to be a slow or no. I'm good. Either way, I'm good. And so yeah.
Yeah, so that's what happens when you are intentional. And put it this way, we just did a video. Have we shown that video yet?
About time?
Oh, yes. No, about, we just did it. About the difference in looking for a friend and looking for a wife. Looking for a friend to marry as a spouse. Look, I said in that video, and I'm going to say it again, I wasn't looking for no friend. I was looking for the woman that I wanted to marry. There's a difference. And you let that be known in the beginning. And I told her in the beginning, I want to learn more about you to see where this is going. And I want to take it slow. Now, my slow and somebody else's slow may be different.
Absolutely not, Kimberly Vaughn.
So what's that?
She said, before Terrence said, let's take it slow, did you continue to reach out and initiate convo?
No.
Nope.
I did all the reaching out after that point.
Because after he didn't reach out from January, I was like, I ain't gonna make this guy talk to me.
And look, and Oh my goodness. That's one of the points I've been trying to make off the gate. Ever since we started this, all the way up till now. So many times, some of you will put in your comments, you met somebody, you met somebody, you met somebody, and that person isn't responding, or they're not calling you, or they're not calling back. So what? Let them go. Live your life.
Release.
Look, think about it like this. The day before you met somebody, you had no concerns about that person. But because the person said hello, because the person asked you out, now you think you got to hear from them every second. You still don't know that person. That person still don't know you. All they know is they met you. It might take a man 10 times to take you out 10 different times before he even realized there's something about her I really want to get to know now.
Everybody's different.
You just don't know. Some people always talk about, when we talk about suddenly, we don't mean from the very first time we met or the very first time she reached out to me, it happened suddenly. No. The suddenly happened when we allow God to take over.
Yeah, our suddenly happened when from the day we saw each other to the day he proposed. Mm-hmm. That was sudden. That was six months.
Yes.
That was quick. But as far as the duration of us talking, nah, that was slow. Mm-hmm. That was slow. But when that's why we always say, when a man is in your presence, he know. He might take a little longer to say something to you, mm-hmm. but he know.
Yes, and that's a great comment. We've said that before, but I don't think people understand what that means. God will redeem the time. Stop putting time on it and just stay in the moment, stay in alignment, and allow God to do what God does. The mm-hmm. only person that can do what he does, mm-hmm. and then allow him to redeem the time because you was obedient. Because you listen, he will redeem the time for you. Mm-hmm. You don't have to ask. It's in his nature.
He will redeem the
time. You
time.
just have to show him that you trust him so much mm-hmm. that you're going to take your hands off of it and let him do what he do.
Yeah.
And when he does it, it ain't going to be something that just works out for you. It ain't going to be something that just works out for the other person. It's going to work out for not only you two, but y'all's families. Every single person that is going to be affected by y'all's union is going to be
affected.
Oh my goodness!
It's going to impact multitude of people, not just the two of you, but it's going to be blessings to a lot of people. You don't have to force it.
Yes,
you'll know when it's your person. It's literally effortless.
And she says she only told 2 people. I didn't tell nobody. I made the announcements on Facebook after we got engaged.
Yeah. But before we got engaged, we had went on a date one time, and Terrence posted, and we took a picture together, mm-hmm. and Terrence posted our picture together on his Facebook page. And I was like, I feel violated. I was like, and he tagged me. I was like, I feel violated. Like, you can tell your people, but I don't know if I'm ready to tell about people. I'm I'm seeing somebody. But he did it, and I was like, oh my God. That's what my mother said. Oh my God, he's loving you out loud. And so
you know what? And that's a phrase that I still love to this day. Mm-hmm. Loving you out loud.
Yeah.
Look, there's something different about a person that's willing to love you out loud.
Right. But always be like, I want to keep it a secret. I want to keep it. No, when your union comes, it is there to bless other people as well. Yes. And I had to get uncomfortable. I had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And when we finally put the mm-hmm. picture out, that's still on our YouTube. Mm-hmm. That's our YouTube profile. That was the day we took. That was our first engagement photo. We put that picture out, mm-hmm. and we got so much support. So, yeah. But God is good, and so. God is orchestrating things. We always say he works in the algorithm. Mm-hmm. There is no way that outdated site that I should have, that God works in the algorithm. He works behind the scenes. He works, it won't make logical sense, human sense.
God is going to work with whatever your situation provides him to work with.
If it's he will make it happen.
That's why you have to just release it
Release
and say,
it. However
Lord,
you want to do
no
it.
matter you think I'm not where I'm supposed to, don't worry about it. God can reach you anywhere, and He can reach anybody else from anywhere. Just let Him do it.
She said, "Can we do a new home tour once you child? You don't want to see upstairs, but we will say our home is not a really big home, but it got all the features of our lifestyle.
Yeah.
So we love this home.
That's again us not rushing,
Right.
knowing that we have options, and just
Right.
relaxing and let God do what God does.
Yes, we have a upstairs family room. Like as soon as you get upstairs to the top, we have a big family room upstairs. We have a deck upstairs because y'all know we like happy hour. That's our
Oh,
personal
happy hours
time.
on it's on steroids.
Yeah, we
Oh
have
my
happy
goodness.
hour Saturday nights. So we have a deck upstairs. It's just like our bedroom is beautiful. We got our grandbabies got a bedroom. We got an office space. We got a guest room. Yeah, it's just 2-car garage. Um, it's just the neighborhood is beautiful. Like everybody's outside walking. Everybody is outside walking, and because it's a new development, um, like people, our neighbors are moving in too. So it's beautiful. God he just like hooked us up. Like he really did. So once we get it together, we might do a formal tour. Or on Instagram, you will see bits and pieces, at least that.
So,
Oh, you can always go to our like I don't know. You could go to donate to our foundation, the TL the T Terrence, the TJF Foundation.org. Thank you so much. Yeah, so God is faithful. All right, but we got to get ready to jump off. One more question? Anybody else got any questions before we jump off and go into the private group? If you are joining the private group and you have not got in yet, just want to emphasize that once you pay your money, go to your website. You might want to check your junk spam folder to get your username. Once you get that, come back and confirm your email. Once you come back to the website, up in the corner up here, no, over here, it's going to have the login. When you try to click on the login, you got to let the pointer change to a finger. As long as the arrow is an arrow, the pointer is an arrow, is not going to allow you to log in. So you got to make sure it switches. You know how it switches.
Yeah, it's got to be positioned.
It's got to be
spot.
positioned so it could turn to a finger. And once you click it on as a finger, click on it, it'll tell you to put in your username and your password. Once you put in your username and the password, on the top of the page, you'll see the Zoom information. The Zoom information for the private group is not the same as the Zoom information for the prayer call. The prayer call is absolutely free. The private group is not. So you said, I still am not finding us on IG. A God-Ordained Union. Oh no, Terrence and Jill, a God-Ordained Union. We're on if you go to our website, you should see you can click the IG link. Yeah, we're on there. All right, y'all. We got to jump off and go over to the private group and chat with the peeps over there.
So y'all have an amazing remainder of your evening. Those of you that we're not going to be seeing, and we appreciate y'all so much.
Yes. All right, y'all be blessed.
Peace.
See y'all next Tuesday.